Welcome to Pacesetters. I'm John Witt, and today I'm here at BaseHall in Jardine House, Central Hong Kong. With me is Tom Andrews, Senior Asset Manager at Hong Kong Land, and Francesca Young, Projects Manager. Tom, as we think about this fantastic concept that we've been touring through, really, what was the concept? Where did the concept come from?
So the origin was actually, I came up with the idea on a plane when I was living in Bangkok with Hong Kong Land. I drew it up, came into Hong Kong and kind of said, how can we do something a little bit different with F&B? Showed it to the Hong Kong Land bosses, who all liked the idea, and then went out into the Hong Kong market and spoke to 10, 12 of the best independent operators, who all thought it was a great idea. It was something new for Hong Kong. We took a lot of inspiration from food halls around the world, but we really kind of noticed a gap in Hong Kong for a space, especially in Central, to really kind of meet the demands of the consumer, both the office community as well as the retail community, to offer basically really good, affordable food in a fun and a sort of social setting. And so that's how we created it.
How does this fit in with Hong Kong Land's broader strategy, specifically on the commercial side?
It fits in kind of in two key parts of our strategy. So one is obviously, to really add value to the rest of our community, particularly on the office side. And so there are a lot of gaps within our F&B. We did a large research study actually into kind of what was missing from an F&B side across the portfolio. And there was a lot of feedback was missing things around Southeast Asian, healthy food. And we haven't really been able to do that because we have a pretty full portfolio at the moment. Yep. So this space came up and we said, okay, let's give this a go. We identified various different very healthy concepts like Treehouse we have here, or Return of Lemak, which is amazing Malaysian food. And it's been received really, really well. As part of a sort of bigger picture strategy for Hong Kong Land, we're trying to attract a younger customer base into Landmark to really kind of position ourselves for the longer term. And so BaseHall's really been a great part of that. We've got some really young people coming in, not serving them any alcohol, but it's creating a really nice environment, yeah.
And Francesca, moving to you. We've talked about the idea, now about the execution. How did you take the vision and from a customer's perspective, translate it into reality?
We have considered the customer experience right from the beginning. The BaseHall is a very contemporary high-end food hall. This concept draws from the historical market hall, using the material, the lighting and detailing.
We wanted to create a space that is vibrant and energetic despite being a basement. We took the advantages of having split levels and different ceiling heights, created two unique spaces. In the upper bar level, you are welcomed by a sense of intimacy, achieved by using bold, rich colours, with the high-quality finishes such as the brass detailing, furniture and recycled Italian marble. And in contrast, for the lower level, the market hall courtyard has a more vibrancy feel. It has high ceiling with a custom-made metal canopy lined with diffused light panels.
Because they're presumably trying to get an evening as well as the traditional lunchtime.
Indeed, yes.
Despite being a basement, we can create a sense of natural light that matches the exact time of the day. The acoustic is also a very important element, and this is often forgotten in other dining locations. For the greater comfort, we have incorporated acoustic materials and treatments to the walls and ceiling, and no one will never know because it's all embedded into the design.
Which gives us a very comfortable conversation rather than shouting at each other.
And thinking about strategy, projects, really very important for the group, and I know Hong Kong Land, to incorporate sustainability from day one into the thinking. How did sustainability work in this project?
Well, from the material use, we have tried to reuse a lot of our existing stone stock.
And we have repurposed materials from our other projects, such as the ceiling metal rods, now being used on the wall finishes, as well as the set marble countertops. We also selected sustainable materials, for example the terrestrial floors, which is made with 80% recycled stone and with no VOC or toxic compounds.
And Tom, that carries on from the operations standpoint. This is quite a different concept, but how does sustainability sort of integrate into it?
Everything that comes out of BaseHall is theoretically compostable. So, a lot of the time when you get takeaway packaging, it's frankly not necessarily so sustainable. So we made the kind of sort of conscious effort that we were going to actually pay for all the packaging ourselves. So everything is BaseHall packaging, which is all compostable. Everything is reusable, that's within the cups with everything else. So the idea is that basically we don't produce any waste. Obviously that's easier said than done, but we do as much as we can. We even have our own composter in the back. Really good. So food, any unused food, rubbish can actually be composted on site, which is very unique for Hong Kong.
So early days in the concept, and I think you've had some specific challenges coming from COVID, but every time I've looked down here, I've seen lineups in the door, and when I've been in, it's very difficult to find a seat. But if you look further afield, what's the impact?
I think we've been extremely lucky that the feedback's been so good. It was a tough time when we opened, but it's been amazing, the feedback that we've had. I think long term, it will really reinforce Hong Kong's position as hopefully a market leader in terms of incubating new F&B concepts. The BaseHall platform is something that is really unique in Hong Kong. It really does sort of bring down the barriers to entry into F&B markets. I think for us, longer term, given we have a huge waiting list of over 100 operators, you'll hopefully see an expansion of the BaseHall product to the rest of the Jardine House basement in the next 12 to 15 months, which is something that we're really, really excited about. And then longer term, hopefully when we incubate with these brands that come in, and if they're very successful, we can then grow with them both in Hong Kong and actually abroad into our other portfolios as well.
Thinking about how the project has come together, I mean, the purpose of Pacesetters is really to take insights from exciting new entrepreneurial projects elsewhere in the group. What are the couple of the insights you'd share that have broad relevance across other group companies?
I think, to be honest, willing to take a bit of a risk. I mean, Hong Kong Land hasn't really got into the F&B industry in the way that we've done this before, so it was a little bit of an outside-of-the-box thing for us to do, but as you can see, it's been a very successful concept. I think also allowing people to kind of look at things like the sustainable angles and really push those as key concepts, as well as going out into the community, F&B, whether that's whatever business that you're in, and really looking at the challenges that people are facing and finding ways as a landlord how you could bridge that gap between the partners as the two partners and work much closer together to achieve one ultimate goal, which is to create an incredible concept. That's something that I think has worked really well for us in this project.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to you and your colleagues. Really, really, really well done. We're watching with great interest to see what happens next. Thank you very much. And thanks for joining us at Pacesetters. For those of you joining via Connect, please leave us your comments in the space below. For those of you outside Connect, really appreciate your feedback too, just some of your comments. Until the next Pacesetters.